What's up, guys? No, it is true that I am from Alaska. This is not a lie. And usually when people ask me when they find out that I'm from Alaska, they assume that I'm really hardcore. You know, like I wrestle bears and have a pet moose and, I don't know, ride a dog sled to school. I get asked these questions. I do not live in an igloo. I never have. And I am actually the worst Alaskan. I'm the least hardcore Alaskan. Like, look at what I'm wearing. You would never see this. Thank you. God, I feel so good now. And I hate camping. I know. And it's because I've paid my dues. Because that's what you do when you live in Alaska. You camp. And when you're a kid, it's really cool because you're like, it's an adventure. But when you're an adult and you go camping, you're just pretending to be homeless. And there are things, I mean, you know, as much as I hate camping, there are things that I do like about it. You know, I like the fresh air. I like sitting by the campfire. I like drinking in the morning. And I'm sorry, I don't mean like I'm drinking in the morning. I mean drinking alcohol. Did you guys get that? Because I'm, just to pass the time, because I am already bored. But I also, I do love that thrill of not knowing whether the campsite next door is harboring a murderer rapist. But what I hate most is the sleeping bag. And it's not the sleeping in the sleeping bag, it's the having to roll up the sleeping bag and then shove it back into the bag that it came in. Because once you get it out of there the first time, it's never going back in. It's impossible. It is the equivalent to trying to fold a fitted sheet. At the end of the day, you're just gonna wad that thing up and then shove it in the back of your closet. Get it out of here. I think there's a lot of similarities between cats and children. For example, are they staring at you because they're trying to figure you out, or because they're plotting your murder? Have you ever walked down a dark hallway and found a 4-year-old just staring at you? It's creepy. And the only thing creepier is walking down a dark hallway and finding a group of 4-year-olds just staring at you. And at that point, you don't assess the situation and assume, oh, it's a group of tired children. No, you run because you're probably in a horror movie. That's how creepy children are. And I live with a 4-year-old now. I found him on Craigslist. He's just trying to find his place in the world. And it's cool. I never thought that I would shower with so many action figures. I was like, hey, Han Solo, is that a lightsaber in your pocket? Han Solo doesn't have a lightsaber, apparently. Somebody told me that recently, because he's not a Jedi. But I still tell that joke. I think that I would make a terrible parent. But mostly because of just my experience babysitting. I'm a terrible babysitter. And it's mostly because no amount of money is going to get me to pretend to lose at Candyland. It's like, no, I don't, hey, little guy, I don't care how much you cry. I'm getting to the candy castle first, okay? But I do think parents are getting really, real unique with the baby names, right? Real unique. And I can't figure out if they're being creative or just lazy. Because it seems like some of them just empty out a box of Scrabble tiles and see what turns up. And I had a friend who recently named their child Satchel. And when she told me, yeah, like this is somebody who probably looked around their house and is the type of person who, you know, has something called a satchel. And was like, oh, that's a cute name. And when they told me what their kid's name was, they were like, isn't that cute? And I was like, no, it's not. Because first of all, your kid is never gonna be able to spell his own name. Because nobody knows how to spell the word satchel. Sure, it's fun to say, like onomatopoeia, but nobody knows how to spell it. You just scrawl it out on a piece of paper and hope somebody knows what you're talking about. And second of all, satchel means small bag. You named your kid Small Bag. Small bag. That kid's only hope in life is to win a hacky sack competition. Is it. But the only thing, I have a small fear of children, but I'm growing as a human. But the only thing that I am afraid of more than children is spiders. And I realize that it's an irrational fear because, you know, people don't die of spider bites anymore. It's so rare. And in fact, you are actually more likely to die by getting run over by a rolling bale of hay. Or drowning in a molasses flood. Or because you headbutted a medicine ball that you thought was a rubber ball. But people are idiots, humans are idiots, and here's a tip. If you want to figure out which of your friends are idiots, just take them through the self-checkout line. It's foolproof. Because people get so mad at those things, and I think that they forget what it's like to go through the aisle with the actual human. And look, I don't need to be judged for how much wine is in my cart. First of all, I get a discount for buying in bulk. And second of all, wine is not alcohol. It's a daily serving of fruit, all right? But I think I got my drinking habits from my parents, who are awesome. I love them. But my parents are convinced that I am a lesbian. I know. I need to take a moment to come out right now in front of you all as a non-lesbian. I'm sorry, you guys. You girls, I should say. Give me a couple of drinks and maybe then we'll talk. But right now, I am a non-lesbian. And I don't deserve my parents because they're fantastic. My father actually, they really are. They're convinced that I am a lesbian. And my dad actually went out to dinner with his wife recently, and they had a conversation about how they would respond when I finally came out to them. And my mom will randomly send me texts about how we don't have enough drama in our family, so maybe now would be the right time for me to come out and stir up some drama. And I think that they just really want me to be a lesbian so they have something interesting to talk about with their conservative friends, you know, stir up their own drama. But I do, you know, they do actually think this, and that's fine. I love being around lesbians. I feel really at home around them, even though I'm not actually a lesbian. But I think it's similar to like a city girl that just feels really at home in the country. You know, she might buy a house there and visit once in a while, but she's just not quite ready to put her hands to the plow and get them dirty. You know what I mean? But I don't even think that I would like make a good lesbian, mostly because I have big hands. Is that a good thing? Oh. There you go, see? But then there's this other part where I wouldn't really know like what to do down there. I'd probably be like, starfish. And that's is that also You guys are so awesome. I love you all. You are amazing. I'm Christina. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you for supporting live comedy. You've been fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your night.